Alright, welcome back everyone to another tips and tricks video. As promised, this playlist is going to be about, pretty much a playlist of frequently asked questions that, we get asked often, or that way, if your seller has questions, or you as a realtor or a property management company, or even a commercial space such as retail or hospitality, all of your questions can be answered right here, both on how to use our products, what we have to offer, and so on. So in this one, I'm going to talk about how to most effectively use our virtual tours as a real estate agent or just in general, or for your buyers. Allow them to get the most to get the best experience out of the virtual tours. So the first things first that I want to get across is these tours are easily shareable. So I want you to text them to everyone that you know. Literally text a on-demand virtual walkthrough, and that person can send it to someone else, and you can see the residual ability for referrals and partnerships, or just finding buyers for your property. The possibility for that becomes greater exponentially. Text it to everyone that you know. If they have a smartphone, they can view the tour right there on the spot. So the next thing that I want to get across, and this is very important, I highly recommend that whoever you send the virtual tours to, ask them if they can watch it with a tech-savvy cousin, nephew, son, whoever. These virtual tours offer so many features that someone who really is tech savvy and knows what they're doing can kind of really get a full experience and kind of blow the other person away. So if your buyer is watching it with again, a tech savvy cousin or a son or whoever, their experience is going to be much greater, just because they're going to be able to utilize the tours just a little bit more. Alright, so another thing is to have them walk through the highlight reel first. We pride ourselves in quality again, and we make sure that no space is missed, or at least at the agent's or seller's request, that throughout the tour the viewer gets to see every inch in that tour. We make sure that's all captured. We make sure that in the highlight reel every part of the tour is covered. That way the viewer is not missing a thing. So then after they play the highlight reel and see the ins and outs of the tours, then they can have fun and click around on their own and be able to see exactly what they want to see on demand. But you just want to make sure that they see the whole house first, before they get biased about something. You just want to make sure that they see it all. So after the viewer has taken the tour, the next step is to go through all the 360s if the property has some. Most of the time the 360s are outdoor spaces, and of course all properties vary. Some properties will have more. It depends on the landscape of the house. Now, typically, if you have a row home or if you have a home in the city, then you'll have about 2 to 360 spaces on average. So we see, one in the front, one in the backyard if there is one, and one on a rooftop deck. If you have a larger listing that's more landscape, it has a bigger lot, or if it's out in the suburbs, then there's going to be more 360s to capture more angles around the house that can't be attached to the 3D model. The more land you have, the more 360s, which is kind of fun because you have more to view that way. It's just not part of the actual virtual tour. After all is said and done, the last thing that you want them to do is play with the measuring mode and play around, and see the measurements on the spot, which again is really just kind of a wow factor that you want to engage into the buyer. Like, wow, this is pretty cool. How high are these ceilings? They're actually 30-foot ceilings. I can measure it on the spot, and all those cool little features, or how wide is this living room, how wide is this door, and so on. So or how tall is the staircase, which is a really cool one. But with the measuring mode, you can measure anything on the spot, and that's what makes it really engaging. So that's the last thing. Once they've they sat down with a nephew, a cousin, brother, whoever, and have someone tech savvy to view it with them, then press play and play the highlight reel. It's going to make sure that you see every square inch before you roam out on your own. Then you can roam out on your own and actually interact and engage with it, and then view all the 360s, make sure you get all the outside shots, and then lastly play with the measurement mode. And again, that's like the wow factor to really blow them away and just give them the best experience possible. And this way, when somebody is done viewing the virtual tour, they're not going to come to you and be like, this sucked. Like, they're just going to come to you and be like, wow, like, do you have any more? Or that's really cool. This was impressive, and so on. So that's the best way to most efficiently use the virtual tours to get the most productivity out of it, the most engagement, interaction, and more people talking about you. So be on the lookout for the next one, and I look forward to seeing you then.